Well, hey now, everybody. It's the Rob from 106.1 KISS FM and 103GBFRocks.com. Here with my partner in podcasting, my tag team partner in podcasting, the certified G and the bona fide stud, Mr. Jerry Valeri. Jer, where are you?
Good morning. I feel like a mystery tag partner that just never shows up to the arena. I can't get on.
Wait, I thought you had an Apple. I thought you had an iPhone.
I have an iPhone. I even updated it again today because they said that would fix it. And now I'm starting. I can't get on. What's happening? What? Now my phone. Oh no!
How are you? Could you possibly be echoing right now?
Because I accidentally opened up the YouTube video of us. I accidentally opened up us.
Will you just punch your iPhone out of the room, please?
Oh, well, I read a conspiracy theory about it over the weekend because I was looking at ways to fix it.
Okay.
And someone wrote that Apple does this because we use Google Hangouts. That's not an Apple thing. It's a Google thing. It's a Samsung thing. It's not an Apple thing. And so Apple refuses to be compatible with anybody else's technology. And I swear to God, they're kicking me off now on purpose.
Does that maybe frustrate you as someone who spent a lot of money on an iPhone? Yeah,
it really does. It does. There's not much I can do about it. They've got me by the short and curlies here. But it frustrates me for sure. Yeah, I'm disgruntled at this point. And I'm going to write a letter.
You're going to write a letter?
I'm going to write a letter.
Okay. What's the thought process, or like what's the point of your letter?
I can't podcast properly.
You can't Apple your way in anymore.
I can't Apple it just apples me out is what it's doing. And I'm really frustrated because this is like 3 in a row that I haven't been able to be seen.
Hey, and don't forget, I had to switch computers. I have to be using a Windows PC. It's I don't know, like a Dell or something. I don't even know what kind of computer it is, but the Mac here at work, which used to work just fine, eventually I said, nope, no more YouTube. Yeah. It's only the biggest video sharing service in the entire world by tenfold. But
it's not theirs. Yeah, so no, can't use it. Yeah, I'm frustrated. The one thing that's nice is you can't see me awkwardly sitting in this chair. I feel like I'm going to fall out of it. I'm used to having arms on my office chairs, but they replaced the studio chair with a different chair. It's the same kind, but it doesn't have arms anymore because somebody's too fat for a chair with arms.
Oh, do I know who that is?
Oh my God, do you ever?
They had to remove the arm from the chair. That's how bad it is.
There are new chairs and there are no arms, and I can't stand on having armrests. But I can't. It's the same reason as if you ever go to lunch with this individual, you can't sit at a booth. You have to sit at a GD table.
Even Big Boy could fit in the booth. We have to sometimes it looks like a backslash because it's like all diagonal looking. Oh wow! So Jer works with. I used to work with him. Jer currently still works with someone. There's a dead ringer for who this person looks like, in my opinion. He is a dead ringer for a WrestleMania 2 King Kong Bundy.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Just, I mean, the bald head, the not even pear-shaped body. It's just bowling ball shaped.
The work rate. Oh.
Yeah, when you watch this back, when you see how hard I'm laughing at this, oh, you're gonna be happy.
I can't wait to see it.
God, that's funny.
Now listen, if we get into Raw from last night, there were some really funny moments that they didn't mean to have be funny.
There were some. Yeah, I took a note on a few. What's one that you were gonna think of? Because I have one.
Well, I love that we were finally introduced to the lesser-known Wyatt brother, Brian. The look on Bo Dallas's face when he said Brian Wyatt was priceless.
I didn't even read it as or like hear it as Brian Wyatt, but I heard it just like as it seemed like he was trying to combine Bray and Wyatt, but he forgot who his tag team champions were.
I backed it up.
I did too.
And watched it again, and he says Brian Wyatt, and I just am dying. I'm dying. He forgot who the tag champs were. He did.
And then didn't Corey do something like that later in the show?
What did Corey do? Corey just told a really bad joke, and they called him out for it at one point.
I feel like there was something he screwed up.
What was your other favorite? I don't remember that one.
That was the only one I wrote down.
Oh, I have another one.
What else do you have?
They're trying to take it super seriously. They've got Seth Rollins fighting back from a neck brace. He's on the stretcher. They're trying to get him out. And somebody is like overpowering everything, singing happy birthday.
I must have missed this completely. I remember nothing of this. I must have stepped out.
Please go back and watch it. Okay, so here's what happens. The bang, he gets hit with the chair, and they cut the commercial. When they come back,
who hits him? Is it Elias?
Elias hits him with the chair. Did you miss that too?
No. I that's what I remember. I remember Elias causing the DQ.
So Elias hits him. Elias hits him in the back of the neck while he's celebrating on top of the table. Boom, and he goes off. So you go to commercial. When you come back, they're carting. They're putting Seth Rollins on a stretcher, and everybody, the announcers are using their somber voice, their somber tone. All of the people, J&J Security, are surrounding him. Everybody's trying to help him. The back, and then you've got the fake EMTs, and they're all trying to get him. And you just hear in the background, ba 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 ba. And like, I'm not gonna sing it because I know we're not allowed to sing, but you can hear it that loudly, like "Happy Birthday," and it's like screaming, and then all of a sudden, everything gets pulled down. You had to. I missed this whole thing. You can practically hear Vince McMahon yelling, "God damn it, turn it down!" Like they turn the crowd down so hard, you can't help but notice.
Wait a minute, where's the sound coming from?
The crowd. Yeah, the crowd right beside him. Like clearly, someone like 2 rows away from Seth Rollins, who's sitting by the announce table. They're celebrating a birthday.
I thought when you were describing this, I thought this happened in the back for some reason, and I thought that like crew members were not aware that they were on camera yet.
Nope, they're still out. They're still out where he fell off the table, and so they're trying to get him to the back. He's by the fans, and there are just oblivious fans in the crowd, like 3 rows away from him, screaming "Happy Birthday" song at the top of their lungs to somebody. And then they turn it down, and you can still kind of hear it. And as soon as they're done, they turn it back up. And I mean, you can hear the volume control.
They're probably turning it down for the same reason I have to tell you to stop singing, because you have to pay for it.
That's a public domain song, isn't it?
No. My understanding is it's not old enough yet.
I don't know if part of me thinks that might be the reason, but I'm really hoping just in my heart that they were just like, this is inappropriate. We're trying to create a mood here, and these people are having a birthday party 2 rows away. Son of a gun.
Oh, I will definitely go back and I will watch that. I know exactly where in the show it is, and that's why I don't delete Raw until after we talk about it.
Because you never know what you're going to miss. You never know. I mean, that was some good stuff.
So there's one thing I want to get to pretty badly. I want to save it for the end, I guess, though.
Okay.
It's nothing from Raw, but it was probably the biggest wrestling-related news over the weekend.
Okay.
And it's what I did name this video. I actually did not name this video anything that happened on Raw this week.
I don't know much about news that happened this weekend.
Okay, so man, I probably should have sent you this earlier. Now that I'm thinking about it, did you catch Enzo Amore's major announcement this week?
No.
Okay, well, it was yesterday. So about a week ago, Enzo Amore made I think it was kind of a cryptic tweet saying he screenshotted his notepad from his iPhone or whatever it was.
So I saw those, and I saw he was in New York, but I don't know what.
Well, and at the end, it was major announcement coming Monday.
Right.
So he makes this major announcement yesterday, and it does seem to be what people are talking about in the world of wrestling today, more so than anything from Raw. So the announcement was a very X-rated music video. Oh, I'll just say R. It's got a lot of foul language in it. And I think the announcement, although he doesn't explicitly say it, is that he's now a rapper. Or at the very least, he released his first single yesterday. It's called Phoenix, which is the city that the alleged incident happened in that hotel room.
Oh boy, oh boy.
And I think also, now that I'm saying it out loud, probably an innuendo for Rising Again.
Sure, but it's also probably a wink and a nod to the city that all of this happened.
Well, no, I mean, it's more than a wink and a nod. It's addressed head on in this song. And I really wanted your take on it. And now I'm regretting not, because I like to not prep you for stuff. And now this morning I'm regretting not prepping you because I almost wish we got your feedback on it.
Right. I can give you feedback on it tomorrow. I'll watch it as soon as we're done here.
Yeah. It's really worth talking about. And I really want to know what you think about it. So a lot of people are poking fun at him. Like, my reaction, I was talking to Steve about it yesterday, and my reaction was, so is his announcement that he's a really crappy rapper? But, and it's not like, I would never say this is a good song. It's something that someone who likes rap should go listen to. But I do like the video in the extent of what it's actually saying, and that he's addressing it. And I will also go as far as to say, it kind of made me feel bad for dude.
Yeah, his whole life fell apart. Over an accusation.
Over an accusation that people ran with and wound up, at least in the eyes of the law, being unfounded. And
if anything, this tells me that he's not coming back for a little while.
A lot of people think it's just never going to happen. And I went on the record last week. I think we both kind of agreed that it will probably be a little bit down the line, but it will probably happen.
Yeah, never say never, pal.
I also want to say that while I do feel bad for him, I don't know what happened in that room. And if he did do something bad, F him. And also at the same time, you never get the vibe at any point, whether you watch him on screen, whether you hear his contemporaries talk about him, whether he was in the company or after he was gone, everyone just has the most rotten things to say about him as a human. And I like to usually evaluate people on personal interactions with them, of which I have none with him. But man, it just seems like he's slimy. And I don't know what else to say about it, but it really made me say, like, I've been thinking about this video 100% of the time since I've seen it.
This is a locker room, and this is an industry where they look at some guys like JBL and they don't see him as slimy. Some do, but universally, he's not completely hated. When universally in professional wrestling, you're seen as a slime ball, oh man, you must really be working hard.
And not only that, a slime ball who sells tickets. Like, if you sell tickets, I think people want to give you the benefit of the doubt. Like, you know, back in the day, you always hear like people would, you know, if they were on a house show with Hulk, they'd thank Hulk for the house, you know, whether it was him or not, that was what they did back in the day. They thanked Hulk. So you kind of want to be like thankful for a guy like Enzo, who, let's be real, was selling merchandise, was selling tickets. People cared about Enzo. You kind of want to give those people the benefit of the doubt, I feel like, if you're in the locker room.
And they didn't.
They sure didn't, man. I guess we could table this conversation for tomorrow. I really should have. I'm kicking myself for not sending you the link now.
Yeah, I wish I had. It's okay. We'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you've named this video that, so people are going to look for discussion on it. But tomorrow there will be more discussion. I'll be able to have watched it. I'm sure I can tell you what I'm going to say. I'm going to say the song sucks. I just like anything. This is like Michael Jordan, who's like, I'm leaving basketball that I'm super good at, and I'm gonna play baseball. And you're like, oh, but are you? And then it's just cringeworthy. And I see him doing that.
Well, I feel like the music thing is not like, it's not like Jordan and the fact that, I took over basketball and now I'm going to do something else. It'd be if Jordan got kicked out of basketball.
Right.
And
well, there were rumors that when he left basketball, it was because he was going to get kicked out of basketball because he had bad gambling problems. But that's all rumor and innuendo, as they say.
Well, I would definitely, even if that was the case, I think the fact that he was brought back and played again would show that that's baloney.
Baloney.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's what I think. And then we'll get even more in depth of this tomorrow when Jerry has seen it. We can kind of go more toe to toe with this. Curious as what you think, because I don't know. It's going to stick with you. I feel like because it stuck with me.
Okay.
It is. It's not like something you're going to want to put on your iPad, but it's something that here. I think
graphic.
Yeah, it is, and I think wrestling fans will appreciate where he's coming from because part of hip hop is supposed to be like telling your story, being raw, being true, and I get that vibe from him in this video. And it's also not like it's not a cheap video or a cheap production either. It's something you can tell he cares about. It's not cheap. So we'll chat about that more tomorrow, I guess.
Okay, I'm reading the lyrics right now. If that's any help.
Anything jumping out at you?
I mean, I'm the verse 1 here. For me to really read it, I'd have to not talk for a minute. So
okay.
I'll dig into it tomorrow.
Okay. So yeah, that's that he's going. It looks like he's going by the name Real1, which has always been his Twitter handle.
Yeah, that's been his Instagram too.
So yeah, and again, it's just like I do kind of feel bad for him if the allegations are false. A lot of times charges get dropped, and it's just because they don't happen to have the right evidence that they need or whatever. Justice always doesn't prevail, but I never got a vibe that this accuser was totally honest and that this accuser was totally a victim. And I don't want to say that. And I don't feel that about every Me Too accuser and stuff like that. But this one just struck me a weird way. And we've always been upfront about that. And I don't know anything. It's just a weird vibe that I got this whole time. So
sure.
Outside of that, I feel like Raw was a bad show. As typically the Monday holiday shows are, your Labor Days, your Memorial Days, you usually don't miss much when you miss those shows. I thought that
I don't agree that it was bad. I guess it wasn't great as a whole, but they really started off as strongly as they could. Like they were like, you know what, we're going to give people good wrestling and good story to at least start the show. I mean, when you look at how they started it with the matches that they gave you right off the bat, I just knew that by the end it was going to suck because we were going to have to do this gauntlet match at some point.
Oh man, they were doing a whole radio magic trick with the gauntlet match. It was driving me crazy because multiple times throughout the night they were referring to the gauntlet match as, quote, the most exciting match in all of wrestling.
Which is baloney.
Which is so not true. And that's something I call it a radio trick because it's like, when you tease, we've got a real funny story coming up about, if you have to tell people it's funny, it might not be funny.
Yeah.
If you have to tell people it's the most exciting match, it's probably not the most exciting match.
I was just happy that they only gave it 20 minutes. Because remember the last time they had a gauntlet match, it was an hour and 40.
Is that how long? It was that long, wasn't it?
It was like almost 2 hours. Remember, we always said we would end up referring to that Raw as like, remember the gauntlet episode, and then they go ahead and do another gauntlet, but it was way shorter. Thank God.
I hate gauntlet matches. I hate qualifying matches. The whole thing, and it's like it was like 8 women.
Gauntlet matches aren't fair. I mean, like, I know it's scripted and blah, 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 but I mean, just from a competitive standpoint and a realism standpoint, how is it fair? Like, the prize is the same for everybody, but if you're in for it's stupid. I don't like it. And I get that the Royal Rumble is set up the same way, but it's just, the gauntlet match is terrible.
Yeah, I mean, has there ever been a good gauntlet match? The answer.
I mean, the closest they ever got was that men's that went forever. That was fun. That was fun. And Seth Rollins wrestled for over an hour. That was cool.
That's literally the answer because it's the only one we remember.
Yeah.
Every other one is so forgettable. So yeah, that was so you had I thought Raw was just abysmal, and it sounds like you found some redeeming qualities to it.
I enjoyed a lot of it.
Was it all the first hour?
Pretty much. You know, I love the Kevin Owens stuff. I love Kevin Owens being on commentary. God, he's so good on commentary.
I'll agree with you there. I love him on commentary.
Interjecting in the Braun Strowman and Finn Balor match on the mic, and then getting involved at the end, I really liked. I thought Finn Balor and Braun Strowman, they put on good matches. They've got something with those two if they decide to ever seek out a feud between those two specifically. Which two? I'm sorry, Finn Balor and Braun Strowman.
Yeah, yes and no. I really feel like this Balor thing is. I feel like the back is not. They're just not with them. I feel like they're just not with him.
Well, I like the match. I liked that when Braun Strowman threw that ladder 20 feet. That was fun. I was like, whoa, that could have gone in the crowd. Good thing you have aim.
I must have.
So I like that. And then the Seth Rollins Jinder Mahal. Boy, Jinder Mahal suffered from having to wrestle Randy Orton his entire championship run because Seth Rollins doesn't put on a bad match, and that was fun. And then they teased the thing with Elias, and that was great. And then you get the happy birthday song mess up, and that was funny for me. And that was the first hour of the show. And now I'm happy. And now I'm like, this is going to be a good Raw.
Yeah, but now you still have a full episode of SmackDown left to watch.
I understand that, and here's where it goes off the rails. This is why I didn't say like I disagree with you, Rob. You're crazy for thinking that it was a bad Raw. I don't think I would use the word bad, but I wouldn't use anything over okay, because now we get Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax exhibition. And Nia Jax.
Whoa. That wasn't Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax. That was Nia Jax and Michelle Webb.
Oh, yes.
I caught that name. I wanted to make sure that we spoke her name.
Michelle Webb.
Speak your name.
And then Ronda Rousey sitting at the announce table looking all dumb, and then going to the ring and looking even dumber. Just like, all she does is stare.
Like the exhibitions are so weird because, I mean, I know they've done these kind of things before, but I don't understand what they're presenting to us when they present exhibitions, because like the girls are in this spot, like the Michelle Webb, like her role is to just get into the hold.
Right, and that's what the one thing I kind of liked from it. If you could just take out the terrible acting from Nia Jax, the concept is pretty good with what they have to work with. It's, listen, you say you're going to take my arm. You're known as the armbar queen. You're going to rip my arm out of its socket, so watch this. I'm in an armbar, and this, bang, is how I'm going to get out of it. That builds some suspense. That's good storytelling. Unfortunately, they don't have good storytellers telling the story. And that's where SmackDown really wins, because last week they proved that they have the best talkers, they have the best promos, they have the best storytelling talent. And Raw just has really good wrestlers, and that's it.
I'm trying to think if I agree with that. Who are the great talkers on SmackDown?
Oh, you're gonna put me on the spot, but we have to think about last week, because I really enjoyed everything about SmackDown last week.
So you enjoyed Nakamura's stuff, and while he's doing a good job with his broken English heel promos, I'm not going to call him a great talker.
Well, I didn't say just great talkers and storytellers.
Okay.
So I think AJ Styles and Nakamura are doing a really good job of telling stories right now. The Miz is the best talker in the company by far. I'm trying to run down the roster now. I know I'm going to miss some guys, but
Owens is probably every bit as good as Miz, though.
Well, and I would agree. I would agree with that. So they have Owens, but then what? Owens and Sami Zayn are the best talkers I think they have on Raw.
I thought Sami Zayn did a really good job last night, and
I did too.
And you know what else is bothering me? And I'm kind of saying this as a negative. I think that's the best built feud that we've got going into Money in the Bank, at least on Raw's side. It's the only one that's got a story behind it. And a lot of people hate the story more than I do, but like I feel like that's the only one that's presenting us with a story.
It's great, and I like how Sami Zayn said, "I'm gonna haluba kick this dumb smile right off your face."
Yeah, yeah, and I know that a lot of people got a really bad vibe from that, 52 finger segment last week. But like, I didn't mind it as much as everyone else did. And you've got Nia Jax and Ronda have a story, but I don't like it. I don't like anything that's happened with it as far as the way it started at the upfronts. I thought was abysmal. The way it's continuing to be abysmal, and I don't like it. And while I don't think it's a great feud that Sami and Bobby have going, it's the best story feud going into Money in the Bank, at least on the Raw side.
Well, they're building it as well as they can.
So, yeah, there's that. I also wanted to mention as soon, I don't want to come down. I love the B team, but as soon as they mentioned that they're having a barbecue, literally that instant, I knew exactly where this was going. The only thing that made it different was I thought it'd be in the back and not in the ring.
And it was in the ring, and they had a food fight. Who cares? That's funny.
As soon as they see the food, I'm like, I know exactly what's going to happen with this food. And I was right. And it was annoying. And
No, I wasn't annoyed by that.
Annoying to me, I guess. I love the B team. I want them to do well. All right, it was...
Come on, Titus saying, none of this is seasoned. Like, that's great. And then... And then Heath Slater was funny, and Rhino just sitting there eating all the sandwiches. It's a buffet. It's a dumb fun segment on a holiday. They get into a food fight. It's what they do. The WWE does that. This is what they do on holidays like Labor Day and Memorial Day and 4th of July.
But aren't they allowed to not like that happens every holiday?
Yeah, you're allowed to, but I tend to like it. I expect two things from the WWE on Memorial Day, and you get them. You get an incredibly touching package to start Raw. Like, man, they do our troops right. And secondly, you get a food fight. It's usually Thanksgiving, but they do a food fight.
# they do our troops right.
They do our troops right. They do. They do.
Okay. Okay.
They do. They do a good job.
Do they? They do. I mean, they do.
You didn't think their tribute to the troops at the beginning was very moving? I thought it was.
It was very moving.
You didn't think so? You think it's all pandering?
I think it was
very. You think it's pandering.
I'll at least say
I don't think it's pandering.
They back it up. They do genuinely love the troops. They do the shows every year for them. They give uniform members free tickets all the time. Like, at least they back it up.
That's what I mean. It's genuine. There are so many times where I hear people like, well, thanks to our troops, and I don't believe them. And I don't believe them. I don't like people saying it for the sake of saying it, but the WWE, I really believe in my heart that they're shooting. They shoot support our troops. It's not a work.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go ahead as to say, yes, they support our troops all year round. So I shouldn't be bothered when I see it every Memorial Day. I'll also say, at least this year, they gave us new packages. Like, it used to be the same package every Memorial Day with just a few little changes. Same with Martin Luther King Day, was the same video every time. This year, they kind of changed things up a little bit. I don't know.
# shoot support.
They do our troops right.
They do our troops right. They do. They do.
What else? I just felt like...
Happy birthday, random fan in the crowd when Seth Rollins is getting put on the cart.
Someone had a sign. I wonder if it's the same person. Someone had a big sign that said, I turned 9 today.
Guaranteed. If they were anywhere near where Michael Cole and Graves sit, then guaranteed.
I mean, they seemed like they were... They probably weren't, to be honest with you, but okay.
Did you see the giant Conrad Thompson head?
No, I didn't.
Oh, come on. When Braun Strowman was doing his typical run around the ring to tackle you outside the ring move, they can't even get away from it. He's running and someone holds it up, and it is gigantic. It's the biggest Conrad Thompson head you've ever seen, and they just hold it up.
When who was running around the ring?
Braun Strowman.
I'm telling you, I did not like the show last night. It was taking everything from. It was a chore for me last night. Nothing was important. This build to Money in the Bank, I think, is a 0. It's just.
Did you see the Ruby Riott promo?
Yeah. What about it?
Man, oh man, she needs to do something with her grill.
She's not the most attractive.
Do you see her tooth?
Yeah, it's kind of snaggly.
It's like, no, it looks like the piano keys and the Goonies skeleton piano on the way to the pirate ship. Like, it looks like a freaking booby trap. Look at that. Have you seen it? It's like one of them's just coming out and it's in front of another full row of teeth. She's like a shark developing a second row of teeth. Fix your grill, Ruby Riott, or just pull that tooth out. It's just an extra tooth. She looks like a hippo. She looks like she's got a hippopotamus mouth.
Every time I try to say something, you just got a different line about her tooth.
God. Bugs Bunny looking son of a gun. She's ridiculous. She makes Sarah Logan look hot. And Sarah Logan looks like if I would touch her, that my hands would smell and be sticky.
You're killing me today, man. I'm dead.
So, anyways, they do our troops right, but they don't have a dental plan. They clearly.
I don't think her role is like, there's some people who are brought there to look good, the Mandy Roses, the Peyton Royces, and then there's some people who are there to, I think, get the job done in the ring.
Yeah, but she's not supposed to have a narwhal tusk coming out of her mouth. Pull it.
I'm gonna pass out. Oh, you're cracking me up.
God. I enjoyed the show last night, but it's because when I'm watching it, I'm thinking things like this.
I try not to look directly at it. I just feel it's like a Medusa thing. Like, I just can't. If I'll turn to stone if I look directly into the mouth.
Well, if it's like Medusa and her snakes, no wonder she won't pull the tooth. Because if she pulls it, 3 will grow back in its place.
Is there anything else we need to get to this morning?
Oh, that's how I got into this mess in the first place. I pulled a tooth and 5 grew back.
It's not going to get any better than that.
Oh, my God. You don't turn to stone. You just turn into another member of the Riot Squad. And you got to stick around with her all week. What the hell?
For myself and my tag team partner, Jerry Valeri. Happy Tuesday, everybody. We'll get more in depth with the Real One's music video tomorrow, and we will recap everything that went down on SmackDown, which will be, nothing else, 1 hour shorter than Raw was. We'll get to that tomorrow right here on Post to Post.